Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. I'll talk about the weather health stresses for July 31st, 2026. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com, and we have a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for July 31st, rather interesting weather map as it moves into the history books. We have a cool front stretching across the north, all the way from Montana into North Dakota, across northern Minnesota, with a little bit of cooler air back in up to the north, but not much. We still have the monsoon rains flowing up into New Mexico, Colorado, and all the way up into Wyoming, and some of the Intermountain West. We have an active low-pressure center in about Missouri into Iowa, cool front stretching back to Oklahoma City and up back toward Denver, a warm front stretching all the way across Memphis through central Mississippi and Alabama into Georgia, and another sort of bubble low about South Carolina. A lot of unsettled weather across the southeast, Florida, and up the Mississippi Valley. Looking at our vitality index, which we show as a measure where the individual weather elements might have an impact on human health, and you can see we do have something going on here in those easternmost portions of New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming. A lot of activity going on here in the upper plains. And then, of course, we have that activity across the southeast and across Florida. Looking at the change in pressure, and there is finally some pressure change for July as it enters the history books. We have rising pressure here starting in easternmost New Mexico up to eastern Wyoming, but a lot across the plains, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, easternmost portions of North Dakota, and on into Minnesota. We have some falling pressure here again about Missouri and Iowa with that low pressure center. Looking at the change in temperatures, and these are not dramatic, of course, but we still do see some warming or rising temperatures here in the upper plains, a little bit of falling temperatures here in Missouri, Iowa, and up into Minnesota, and that's with the active frontal activity. Interesting dew point temperature changes as we have temperatures jumping in North Dakota. We have dew point temperatures falling. As you look at vapor pressure, you can see that we have falling vapor pressure here up the plains, but note, we have rising vapor pressure across Missouri and Iowa, and the difference between this clash, along with some instability, will be interesting to watch, especially here across Missouri and Iowa. Jumping to that instability, you can see that we have a string or a finger of instability up into western Missouri and up into Iowa, and really reaching into eastern South Dakota. There is always, of course, that instability here with that front in the southeast along the Gulf. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, and it again is a little bit interesting, but the migraine risk here across eastern New Mexico, eastern Colorado, eastern Wyoming, and becoming quite significant across Kansas, Nebraska, into southern South Dakota, eastern South Dakota, getting significant again as we move across Minnesota, Iowa, even northern Illinois, and up through Wisconsin. Note we have a slight risk of migraine down here in the south from southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, into southwest Georgia. We have a risk of asthma and arthritis here in westernmost Washington, Oregon. We have a risk of asthma and arthritis across portions of North Dakota. We have, again, risk of asthma and arthritis across Arkansas and Missouri with that low pressure center. And then we have a risk of asthma and arthritis here in central Florida. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.